In 1.5, we're going to talk about properties of real numbers and how we can apply those to help us. So we have the commutative property of addition, and it says A plus B is equal to B plus A. Or in other words, it doesn't matter what order the terms are written in when you're adding them. You can, switch their order, and it doesn't affect anything. We also have the commutative property of multiplication, which says A times B is equal to B times A. So in multiplication, it doesn't matter which factor you write first. Okay? And addition, same thing. It doesn't matter which term you write first. Now we have by the way, commutative property does not hold for subtraction or division, because it does make a difference when you write a subtraction problem, which one you write first. Okay, but addition and multiplication, the commutative property holds. The associative property says A plus B plus C, this is for addition, equals A plus B plus C. So it doesn't matter which ones you associate together first. So it doesn't matter if you have three terms you're adding together. It doesn't matter if you add the first two together and then the third one, or if you add the back two together and then add the first one. The same thing's true in multiplication. So you could have, I'm going to write this a little bit different, A times B times C, which would equal A times B times C. And so it doesn't matter which two of the three you multiply together first. We use the commutative and associative properties all the time. So, you might have a long string of numbers that you're adding up, and you say, oh, I'm going to look for, numbers that add up to 10, because that'll be easier for me. And you can do that, and that's okay. All right, so let's look at example 1 here. So, and I'm probably going to take the long route with this problem, but normally, order of operations says addition, go left to right. So 23R plus 14S, that I would do that part first. Well, I'm going to go ahead and switch them. So it's commutative, right? So 14S plus 23R plus 9R plus 15S. Now, normally we probably wouldn't take this many steps to do this problem, but I kind of wanted to show you the properties. So what I did was I used the commutative property right there between the first two terms, and I switched their order. Now I can look at these two and combine them. So I'm going to reassociate, I'm combining not the first two, but the middle two. So I can say 14S plus what's 23 and 9, 32. R plus 15S. And now I'm going to go ahead and switch these two. I'll use the commutative property, switch them back. 32R plus 14S plus 15S. And again, we're going to reassociate. We're going to add the back two together so we can get the S terms together and have 32R plus 29S. And we're going to have that for the answer. Now, we probably normally wouldn't write out that many steps. We would just look and say, there's the like terms, 23R and 9R, combine them, get 32S, and then we'd look at, or 32R, and then we'd look at the S terms, their like terms, 14S and 15S, and combine them and get 29S. Okay, so I kind of took the long route on that one, so I won't do that on this next one. It has parentheses, and it says, they want you to add 7/15 plus 5/8, and then they want you to add, after you do that, add 3/8. That's what the order of operations says. But I don't really want to add the 7/15 and the 5/8. I don't want to do what's in the parentheses because it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to get a common denominator, and So I'm going to use the associative property and say 7/15 plus, and then I'm going to add the 5/8 plus 3/8. Now I'm going to get lucky here because I have common denominators. I kind of saw that in advance, but even more lucky. So 7/15 plus 5/8 and 3/8 is going to be 8/8, right? Well, 8/8 is just 1. And then I can make that 1 15/15. So then I can get that common denominator. I did have to get a common denominator eventually, but it was a little bit easier to do because I had the 1, and then I could just make that whatever denominator I wanted to. So 1 is equal to 15 over 15. Okay, now I can add and get, what, 22 over 15. Does that simplify? No, because 20, I'll tell you why. 2 times 11 for 22 and 3 times 5. So there's nothing that's canceling there. So 22/15. And I would leave it as an improper fraction like that.